Hello everybody, I am so happy to be back crafting and making videos again. My kids were home, and then we had this weather thing in Texas. Things happen, but I'm glad to be back in the craft room and making videos and crafting with you guys, and I'm so glad to see you guys. Okay, so I have one of the shadow box dies, and I'll have one linked in the description below for you, but I'm going to cut two out of this die, and then all the other ones I'm only going to cut once out of those die papers, but the one that you want on the outside, cut twice. Then with one of the two, you're gonna go ahead and die cut the inside panel so you can create your window. Then we're gonna go ahead and we're going to fold all of the score lines. If you are having trouble folding the score lines, or you feel like they're just not creased enough, you can take a scoreboard and just where that line is, try to line it up with one of the lines and then score it. And that'll make it a lot easier for you to fold those areas. And don't forget that little panel in that corner there, and be very careful with it. And you just gotta fold it back towards the pattern that you want on the inside. Now you'll see that I have that little piece of tape. I'll remove that later, and I'm just going to fold all of my pattern papers. By the way, these pattern papers are from Kat Scrappiness. This is from their new Valentine's Day release, and they are adorable, guys. I mean, all the pattern papers, they work together, and I did not have to think much of how to put it together or what should go with what. They all just work together. So it made putting the shadow box together so much easier. And I think that's one of the things I love about double-sided pattern papers, is that yes, sometimes we lose on one of the pattern sides that we want, but for certain projects that we're doing, for example, the shadow box, I don't have to die cut another pattern paper and place inside. This pattern already, it already has that solid pattern inside that we're gonna go through. Okay, that's already there. Sorry, we're gonna go through. Makes no sense. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're going to glue everything or adhere everything together. You can use glue, but you want to use a strong adhesive. So I have here an adhesive roll that I had in stock, and I'm gonna put it on the two flaps that seems to be located on every die cut except for that back panel part, where I will just place it in the back of it, and then I have that part set and ready to go. Now, you want to follow the direction for whatever die cut that you are using. The company, whatever directions that they have for their die cuts, go ahead and follow those. This is just the one that I have and how to use it, and that is going to be the one that I will place in the description box for you. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to line up those two sides. You'll see at first I lined it up wrong. I placed it on top, and I wanted to leave this in here so you guys can see. I noticed and immediately took it off, and it's okay that that showed, because it ripped off that paper, because I'm going to be placing a card base behind it. But I just wanted to show you that mistake, because I was laughing when I did it. But I did add a little bit of more glue, and I made sure the top and the bottom were completely lined up. I added the glue just because I know I did rip some of that tape off, and then I went ahead and pressed that down. And then with the other side, I just folded everything flat, the way that it would be folded in a when it goes in an envelope, and then it lined up perfectly, and I pushed it down and made sure I adhered both panels, and then folded it both ways just to make sure that it was good. Now, Please don't mind the paint on my hand. I was doing like 4 projects this day, okay? So I had paint on my hand. So now we're gonna take that back panel and then we're gonna go ahead and remove the release sheets from the tape and place that in the center of our shadow box, and that's going to be like our background of our box. I don't know if I took off the purple tape there before. Yep, there it goes. I did. Okay, so I did take it off before I placed it on there. I noticed it. I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna show. That's for sure gonna show. So I went ahead, I took off my ECC tape, and then I went ahead and I placed that background paper centered in the shadow box. I'm sorry, I'm losing my words today. Please forgive me. I have not been recording in quite some time. So getting back into things. And so yeah, I just lined it in the center of it, and then you'll see it looks perfect when we are showing our box and when our recipient receives it. So now we're gonna decorate the inside. So this thicker panel, I'm actually gonna place in the center. That is where I'm gonna place my little critter. And then I'm going to line up one side and then I'm going to fold it down. So you'll see I folded that in just to help me be able to place it in. And then I did struggle with this a little bit, but it's because I wanted it to be at a specific location, like centered. So once I got it in there, I held it down and then went ahead and flattened that other side and made sure that flap on the other side was flat as well. Flap was flat? Okay. And then I pushed it down and it adhered perfectly to the center. So it looks like a little step. Isn't it cute? And then I went ahead and I was thinking about putting this in there as like a separate side background or maybe like a door, but then I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. So here I have the Quokka flower stamp and die set. I went ahead and I had pre-stamped, colored, and die cut it. And then I took some green color cardstock, and this time I used glue, just because I know I'm gonna need wiggle room for this one. So I put glue, and it's gonna be in the front of my shadow box. And I just went ahead, I placed that the same way that I placed that middle one, and then I put something heavy so that it can adhere to my shadow box. Then here I use my Quokka flower die cut, and I place that floral between it. It's so cute, you guys. I love how it just holds that flower. And I'm going to go ahead and put glue on the bottom, and then I'm just gonna put a little piece of foam, like a foam square on top, because I want it to pop up, but I still want that bottom stem to be against him. So kind of like he is handing it over to the recipient. And then I'm just going to place that right in front of the grass hill. I'm just going to use glue on the bottom of my little Quokka feet, and then we're going to place that right on top of the grass. Now, I wanted to incorporate so much into this, and you ever like, you're doing a project and then you get overwhelmed from all the ideas that are popping in your head. And mind you guys, full disclosure, I have ADHD, severe ADHD, which is why crafting is like a thing. Oh, I also used a paper clip to hold it together because I was not going to hold it together. I wanted to get this done. I wanted to see the finished product. And so I went ahead and I glued little pieces of like butterflies in the background, and as well as some sentiments that came with the stamp. I placed one in the front, and then I placed another one right in the back. I didn't know which one I wanted in the front and the back, but I figured the small one, I just put a little piece of adhesive and then I placed it in the back, and then the longer one, I went ahead and I placed that in the front. Here I'm just taking a card base and I'm cutting off the size of my shadow box so that I can make it a card. And the way I did it, I did not show it, and I apologize for that, but the way that I did is I placed the box on there, and then I made a line, and then I cut at the line. That's it. But here's the finished product, and look at how fun everything turned out. So here you can see it fits inside of an envelope, no problem. When they receive it, it is nice, open, pop up. You see those little butterflies just sitting in the background, and then you have a message that an area where you can place your message in the back. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please, if you are enjoying my channel and you would like to support my channel, please subscribe, and I will see you at the next video.